Hey there, welcome back to the channel. If there's a creature that can boast of having lived through centuries, having witnessed the birth and death of entire civilizations, it's undoubtedly the giant tortoise. These gigantic reptiles have managed to outlive numerous historical periods, watching as empires rose and fell throughout history. And it's not surprising if you consider that the lifespan of these animals is directly related to the extinction of many species during their existence. In fact, the Galapagos Islands giant tortoise, a subspecies of the Galapagos Islands tortoise, has the record for the longest lifespan of any known species of tortoise. According to scientific records, the oldest specimen in captivity lived to be 130 years old, while in their natural habitat, they can reach the incredible figure of 500 years. There are many people who question these figures, believing that the age of these animals is often exaggerated. However, there are several recorded cases that prove this longevity is real. The best example is the famous Lonesome George, whose existence was a spectacle in itself. On April 24, 1912, an expedition aboard the ship HMS Beagle arrived at the island of Hispaniola in search of giant tortoises to transport them to the zoological garden in Zusammenhang. When they found him, George was already a giant of almost 2 meters in length and about 70 years old. George was captured and taken to the zoological garden where he would spend the rest of his life. Over the years, he became a prominent figure thanks to his imposing size, strange appearance, and loneliness, which led to his nickname, Lonesome George. The name was given by a BBC journalist who published an article about him in 1926. The animal spent the last years of his life alone until his death on June 24, 2012, at the age of 100. After his death, genetic testing revealed that George was actually female. This error ended up creating a media spectacle. This event happened when the last specimen of its kind died. Despite its efforts, the species did not manage to reproduce in captivity. As a result, it officially disappeared from the planet. But not all giant Galapagos tortoises have such sad fates. There are still many specimens alive today, such as David, the oldest living giant Galapagos tortoise. He currently lives in captivity at the age of 183, which means he was born in 1840. That year, Queen Victoria was ruling the British Empire, and Charles Darwin had just published his book, The Voyage of the Beagle. That same year, David hatched on the island of St. Cristobal in the Galapagos Islands. Since then, he has witnessed the construction of the Panama Canal, 2 world wars, the moon landing, the invention of the internet, and the rise of social networks. There are even older giant tortoises, like Ferdinand, who is estimated to have been born in 1752, making him over 270 years old. His birthday is believed to be August 15th, although the exact date is unknown. According to experts, Ferdinand belongs to the last generation of giant tortoises that lived alongside Alexander Selkirk, the famous Scottish sailor who inspired Daniel Defoe to write the life and surprising adventures of Robinson Crusoe. However, unlike the fictional character, Selkirk did not live on a desert island, but on the island of San Cristobal in the Galapagos Islands, inhabited by giant tortoises, marine iguanas, blue-footed boobies, and a multitude of endemic species. In the case of the giant tortoise, individuals of this species can easily live up to 150 years, and some may even reach 500 years. In fact, the reason why giant tortoises can live such long lives compared to other animals is due to their slow metabolism, which allows them to survive for long periods without food and water. Their slowness is what makes them different from other animals, and it's something that's part of their existence. It should be noted that the average lifespan of a giant tortoise varies depending on its location. Those living on the island of Hispaniola tend to die earlier, at around 80 years old. In contrast, those from the island of Santa Cruz can live between 100 and 150 years. Meanwhile, giant tortoises from the island of San Cristobal have the longest lifespan, reaching up to 200 years. According to a study published in the journal PNAS, giant tortoises belonging to the Chelinoidus elephantopus group, living in the Galapagos Islands, show negligible senescence or aging. Senescence refers to the physical deterioration of organisms over time, including the progressive loss of biological functions and increasing vulnerability to diseases and death. However, the study showed that after reaching sexual maturity, giant tortoises do not seem to experience significant increases in mortality rates. This suggests that they do not age in the traditional sense and could theoretically live forever. This discovery has amazed the scientific community because it's extremely rare for an organism to exhibit such a phenomenon. To reach this conclusion, scientists analyzed demographic data from 1987 to 2012, tracking the number of deaths among giant tortoises of different ages. They observed that while younger turtles experience higher mortality rates, once sexually mature, the rate remains stable, indicating negligible aging. What's even more surprising is that this characteristic appears to be exclusive to giant tortoises. Other species of Galapagos tortoises, despite living longer than most species, still show signs of aging. Therefore, further research is needed to fully understand the reasons behind this unique ability of giant tortoises. Giant tortoises play a crucial role in their ecosystem, primarily as seed dispersers for various plant species. In particular, they feed on the fruits of the guava tree, a native plant in the Galapagos Islands. By consuming these fruits, the tortoises aid in the germination and propagation of new guava trees. However, in the past, overhunting by humans led to a decline in their population, with only 14 giant tortoises surviving on the island of Hispaniola. Conservation efforts have since helped increase their numbers to around 2,000 individuals. Currently, there are three main threats to these magnificent creatures: habitat destruction caused by agricultural expansion, invasive species such as pigs and goats introduced by humans, and natural disasters such as volcanic eruptions. Regarding the impact of volcanic eruptions, there's no evidence that giant tortoises have ever been wiped out by these events. Although volcanoes are frequent in the Galapagos Islands, giant tortoises have always managed to repopulate the areas affected by lava flows. However, they face significant challenges when it comes to recovering from droughts, which can lead to mass mortality events. It's estimated that in 1973, a severe drought resulted in the death of up to 50% of giant tortoises on the island of Hispaniola, primarily young individuals who couldn't migrate to more humid areas. Most of these reptiles are slow-moving, and their mobility is limited, especially during drought when their primary food source, the guava tree, dries up. While they can survive without food for extended periods, a lack of water can be fatal to these animals. However, there is hope for these majestic creatures. Currently, conservation efforts are underway, and measures are being taken to protect them. Unlike Lonesome George, who symbolized the disappearance of his species, there are still many giant tortoises alive today. Thanks to human intervention, they have a chance to continue existing for hundreds more years. Thanks to their longevity, giant tortoises have become true witnesses of history. They've seen humanity transform from a distant observer. These reptiles have watched empires rise and fall, scientific revolutions, cultural changes, and countless historical events unfold. In a way, they embody the concept of timelessness, existing beyond the fleeting moments of human history. While some giant tortoises roam freely in their natural habitat, others find refuge in zoos and wildlife reserves around the world. Many of these places have become sanctuaries where giant tortoises receive care, protection, and the opportunity to live in environments that resemble their natural habitats. One of these places is the Galapagos National Park, created precisely to protect the unique flora and fauna of these islands. Within this park, giant tortoises can be found roaming freely, contributing to the preservation of their species and the balance of the ecosystem. In captivity, giant tortoises also play an essential role in education and research. Zoos and wildlife reserves offer visitors the opportunity to observe these magnificent creatures up close and learn about their behavior and the importance of their conservation. Scientific research conducted on giant tortoises provides valuable insights into their biology, longevity, and the challenges they face, contributing to the development of effective conservation strategies. Despite the progress made in protecting giant tortoises, these reptiles continue to face numerous threats. Habitat loss due to agricultural expansion and the introduction of invasive species remain serious challenges. Climate change also poses a risk to their survival, as altered rainfall patterns can disrupt the delicate balance of their ecosystem. To ensure the survival of these magnificent creatures, continued conservation efforts are crucial, protecting and restoring their natural habitat, controlling invasive species, and raising public awareness about their importance are essential measures. In addition, promoting sustainable agriculture in areas surrounding their habitat and encouraging responsible tourism that respects and safeguards their environment are vital actions. Giant tortoises have captivated humanity with their immense size, longevity, and the enigmatic allure of their existence. As symbols of resilience and adaptability, these reptiles inspire awe and admiration. Their presence in our world serves as a reminder of the beauty and wonder that nature offers. And as we marvel at the giant tortoise, let's remember the importance of protecting and preserving these magnificent creatures and their habitats. May they continue to roam our planet for centuries, embodying the timeless spirit of the natural world. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment below with your opinion or any questions you have. We'll be happy to read and respond to all of them. Also, don't forget to share this content with your friends and family. Thanks for watching. Until next time.